So, do you also think that families often confuse access to big hospitals to quality elder care? And what is the biggest misunderstanding here?
It's not just in elders, it's a perception amongst most people. बीमारी 10 दिन की होगी है, बड़े हॉस्पिटल में जाना है. Now that's a perception. The families take decisions on behalf of the elders and they feel that their burden will be lessened if they go to a bigger hospital where they'll be looked after in totality and they themselves will have to have a lesser burden. So it is not so much of the disease that forces them to go to a bigger hospital, it is higher level of care. So this is a big myth and makes elders land up in major hospitals for no rhyme or reason.
How do you see India's elder care ecosystem evolve, and what are the gaps which still need urgent attention?
Very great paper written by Niti Aayog. It is called the position paper on reforms in senior care. They have identified 4 domains, and the 4 domains are health domain, the social domain, the economic domain, and the digital domain. Then the Silver Tsunami, what Niti Aayog says, what are going to be the drivers of the Silver Tsunami is first is going to be home care. In the year 2050, which is 25 years from now, Niti Aayog's projection is that the elderly population is going to be more than the population of children below 15. The number is going to be so huge. So the elders are going to be living in their own homes. So home care. Then comes health insurance of the elders. Already companies have started changing their rules to include insurance up to the age of 80. Then comes health technology. Wearables. In the last 1 year, the economic survey said that the sale of wearables of elders, protecting them from falls, etc., has jumped by a 40%. So these are the gaps which are going to be filled up. And these are the 3 areas, technology, health insurance, and home care, are going to be the drivers of this Silver Tsunami.
Hello and welcome to OneHealth Conversations, a podcast series powered by Pacific OneHealth, where we engage with India's top healthcare leaders shaping the future of healthcare. Today's episode is titled From Hospital to Home, Safer Care for Seniors. India is aging faster than ever before. By 2036, nearly 230 million people in our country will be above 60. And according to the National Aging Studies, almost 3 out of 4 seniors live with 1 or more chronic conditions, while many struggle with limited mobility and independence. This means elder care can't only be about hospitals. It has to be about continuity, comfort, dignity, and home. To help us understand this much-needed shift, we have with us a very special guest, Dr. G.S. Grewal. Dr. Grewal is an internal medicine specialist and elder care expert with over 3 decades of clinical practice. He is Senior Consultant Elder Care at Fortis Escorts Hospital, New Delhi, and has been instrumental in advocating for age-friendly communities in India. Dr. Grewal, it's an honor to have you with us. Welcome to the show. Let's begin with something which we often hear from our seniors, the intimidation factor in large hospitals. Multiple departments, long queues, complicated paperwork. It can feel overwhelming and sometimes confusing as well. So from your experience, how significant is this intimidation factor and how does it affect the outcomes in elderly care?
Let's begin where we should begin. And there is a saying in India, हम अपने बुजुर्गों का बहुत अच्छा ख्याल रखते हैं. That myth is busted, right? So the elders are fending for themselves. So here is an elder who's entering a hospital because he's worried about a disease. He doesn't know what is going to happen. So there is a level of apprehension. And in that condition, the elder is entering the hospital. This experience and this environment of the hospital, how it deals with elders, has been studied by WHO, and they have used the word hostile, explaining the intimidation. Now, if I have to explain how a hospital can be hostile. It is starting right from the behavior of the frontline people who get in touch with the elder as he enters. The guards, the receptionists, the accounts people. So it is their dealing with them which is more systematic, more mechanical, and not sensitized on how to deal with this apprehensive elder person. That entire atmosphere becomes very aggressive and hostile to the older person. There is an element of ageism existing in the hospital atmosphere. When I say ageism, it means that the staff that is working there may make a casual comment about the older person because of his age. इस उम्र में थोड़ा हाथ हिलता है. Imagine an elder who's filling a form and the receptionist or somebody just makes a casual statement. It is not only intimidating, it is considered ageism. When you deny the right or deny the circumstances of making anybody comfortable because of the age, it is called ageism.
Which contributes to the hostile environment.
Which contributes to the hostile environment. It is akin to sexism. It's the same. So you tell a lady you can't drive because she's being a lady. So it becomes hostile. So therefore this hostility is existing in the major hospitals and becomes a big hindrance for the older person to access the services when the problem, his health problem, is manageable. So they delay treatment only because they are apprehending that hostile atmosphere.
True. And that leads to another question, Dr. Grewal. Even though tertiary hospitals, they provide excellent clinical care, we know that, but they do often struggle to deliver personalized, more home-based, and elder-friendly care. And as you clearly mentioned, especially when mobility, familiar environment, and frequent follow-ups, these are the very critical and significant factors in managing elderly care. So what do you think about it?
Well, let's first understand. Tertiary hospitals are designed, tuned, and equipped to treat diseases. In elder care, more than the diseases, it is the geriatric syndromes that affect the quality of life. So, the geriatric syndromes are issues that arise from multiple organs and may not always require medication. To give you an example, lack of sleep, body aches, constipation, urinary incontinence. These are all listed under geriatric syndromes. They don't necessarily require surgical or major interventions, and therefore they need not be dealt at a tertiary care hospital. And an elderly person who goes for urinary incontinence has to undergo various tests because of the system is such, but may not require them. And therefore, at the end of the time, after 1 week of investigation, he is told, sorry, go and do these exercises and your urinary control will be better. So imagine the trauma that the person has to go through. Again, so the tertiary hospitals are disease-oriented, whereas elder care focuses more on geriatric syndromes.
So do you also think that families often confuse access to big hospitals to quality elder care? And what is the biggest misunderstanding here?
It's not just in elders. It's a perception amongst most people. बीमारी 10 दिन की होगी है, बड़े हॉस्पिटल में जाना है. Now that's a perception. And in elders, the families take decisions on behalf of the elders, and they feel that their burden will be lessened if they go to a bigger hospital where they'll be looked after in totality, and they themselves will have to have a lesser burden. So it is not so much of the disease that forces them to go to a bigger hospital, it is higher level of care. And whereas the elders' requirement is not a higher level, but a basic level, because they are going to be dealing with geriatric syndromes. So this is a big myth and makes elders land up in major hospitals for no rhyme or reason. And I'll reiterate here that when we talk about hostile hospitals, WHO has given definition guidelines of which hospital can qualify to be called an age-friendly hospital. There's a whole document. I'll just mention one or two issues of how a hospital can make small changes to qualify itself to be called an age-friendly hospital. Sensitization of the staff dealing with the elderly from the reception, from separate counters. We have seating arrangements which are separate for elders. We have toilet seats which are separate for elders. Then the signage. Elders have a problem in visual acuity. So the signage has to be different for the elders for the hospital to be qualifying for a age-friendly hospital. Another intervention which is now being used in certain hospitals is one of the staff is given a sachet which reads, "I am elder friendly," and he roams around in the reception area. So if any elderly wants any help, he goes and sits, meets this person. I know of a hospital in Delhi where we were instrumental in giving them a special bell at the entrance of the hospital, and it said, "Ring the bell for an elder for any help." So if they ring the bell, somebody would come from the department, "Sir, can I help you?" So these are interventions which are very simple to do, but they qualify the hospital to be an age-friendly hospital.
And the tertiary hospitals, they are built for specializations and not for frail, slow-moving elements of our society, if I can call them. And that is where you rightly mentioned this. These small elements, marking a certain space, signages, certain space for elderly care. So these contribute to personalized and it also to
washrooms with skid-free.
Yes,
very important.
Yes, and they also provide psychological comfort to the elders, and confidence as well. So incorporating these elements in micro hospitals which we are coming up with, will that be a very
in fact, that is
positive?
That is the deviation.
Yes.
That is the deviation.
Yes.
Doing these small changes in a tertiary care hospital may take time, because in tertiary hospitals there's usually large number of emergencies coming in. So the emergencies take priority to the routine demands of the elders, which can be looked after in smaller places.
Smaller settings, yes. And now we also transition into talking about home-based care or home care. How critical it is for elderly care to include home monitoring, home visits, and family involvement?
Well, home care is not an option. It is essential. In elder care, if there is no home care, you're not doing elder care. Plain and simple. A large number of health issues of the older people can be managed at home. Again, I quote WHO. In 2020, they have come out with a document which is Decade of the Healthy Aging. And one of the elements they have put into that document is aging at place or aging at home. And WHO insists that quality care, quality life with safety and dignity of an older person can best be given to him at his own home.
Very rightly said.
Very old saying, home sweet home. Now, there are interventions which elders are being empowered to take up which will make their home care comfortable and useful. So there are interventions now, qualified guidelines, changing of lighting, changing of floors, decluttering. We advise a lot of our elders to declutter their homes. They don't need so much material or furniture. All that to make their homes more healthy, safety, and more comfortable for themselves. So home care, besides the infrastructure, the nowadays there is a lot of emphasis on managing even infections at home and avoid hospitalization. So home care is essential now.
Very rightly said. And this is where we talk about our newer model, which is in Pacific One Health, which is an integration of home care. And it's a small neighborhood, micro hospitals integrated with such services. So, do you think that this hybrid model of safer and better care is it going to be, and as compared to for tertiary hospitals where we have occasional follow-ups also, where follow-up is a very essential part in seniors, in elderly care as well. So do you think this hybrid model of safer and simpler will be an essential part in elderly care?
Absolutely. See, there is a continuum of care. The concept is continuum of care. So prevention and long-term care is at home. Emergencies and surgical interventions is in a hospital. Otherwise, everything else is at home. So imagine an older person who is now accessing a micro hospital on a regular basis, on an OPD basis. There is, God forbid, this person has a milder chest infection. Because of the continuum of care, that little care can be given at home, a checkup done in the hospital, and back at home. So it is this balanced approach between home care and micro hospital which is going to be longer lasting, more economical, and more acceptable by the older person, because he might require 4 to 5 admissions in a year, and one admission in a tertiary care hospital is devastating. Imagine we have got a problem called ICU syndrome, intensive care unit syndrome, where elders, when they are put into an elderly person is put into an ICU. Now in ICU there are 2 things constant. In fact, 3 things constant. One is a sound of a monitor. Tick, 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 tick. Second is the lights never go off. And third thing is movement of people never stops. So the elders get disoriented in time and space. They don't know whether it is day or night. And there are so many elders who start getting psychotic reactions in the ICU. So today there is a strong recommendation, either have separate ICU for older people or treat them at home.
Also, sir, one of the biggest or few of the biggest pain points for elders are the wait time and bureaucracy, even the stress caused by navigation. How does a micro hospital simplify all these elements for the seniors?
You see, the biggest advantage that a micro hospital gives, when I say continuum of care, is that there are lesser number of departments in a micro hospital. The departments are catering to the geriatric syndromes of the elder persons. So you don't need to have a sophisticated eye checkup chamber. You just got to have a retinal checkup for the elder person, and that's it. So the environment is not so much of big, huge building, different departments. It's more compact. So it is less threatening to the older person. And the accessibility being easier than the tertiary hospitals. You have smaller ramps, you have smaller corridors, so the person spends less time in that in a micro hospital. And he's willing to come more frequently. the frequency of going to a tertiary hospital is huge. As you said, even traveling from the car parking to the hospital, to inside the OPD area can take around half an hour. There are hospitals now who have golf carts from the parking to the OPDs, because that's the hugeness of the hospital. The micro hospital is more like my extended home.
Yeah, it's very rightly said.
It's just like my extended home, because I'm coming here regularly. They know everything about me. It takes 1 hour to do everything, and presto, you're finished.
So another key concerns for families is always transparency, especially regarding decision making and accessibility. How can micro hospitals and home care systems integrated into that system bring more trust, clarity, and predictability into the system?
See, this is the future. And I must congratulate Pacific Health to come out with this concept of membership. Now, what happens is, in a micro hospital, you have an elder who's accepted being a regular member of that micro hospital. So, nothing comes as a surprise. The trust deficit is existing because of the apprehension of an elder person that if I go to the doctor, he is going to admit me, he's going to conduct many tests, and he's going to advise me some surgery. When an elder is assessed under a systematic comprehensive geriatric assessment, which is called the CGA, which is as of today not done in any tertiary care hospital. No tertiary care hospital in Delhi is conducting a comprehensive geriatric assessment. It is the micro hospitals which will introduce this concept of every elder undergoes a CGA, and a dossier is made of the issues that are going to arise in the geriatric syndrome: cognitive decline, urinary incontinence. So a list will be made of where all this older person may have a problem in the coming next 1 year. It will be discussed with him and with the family. So there is next visit, the older person knows what is going to happen. And there goes down the apprehension. It's transparent. It gives more confidence, and the person is in a position to look after himself or herself in a much better way.
So we've already talked about it, but I would want you to elaborate this point even more. So mobility is the biggest factor, and it challenges are extremely common, often lead to delayed care, as we all know. So with micro hospitals located closer to the communities and very accessible, and home care stepping in, that's the major factor, the home care stepping in. Do you see greater comfort, familiarity, and trust forming with senior patients?
Yes, of course. The micro hospitals' one biggest USP is going to be accessibility and the speed at which services can be provided at home. Imagine a situation where an older person has developed sudden cough. 45 minutes, an X-ray is done at the house of the elder person. The report is received immediately, and the person is told, sorry, thank you very much, no pneumonia, doesn't matter, you're going to be fine. Look at the level of confidence that comfort is going to have. And why is it important to do it? Because these are going to be happening frequently. In a younger, fitter person, he might have chest infection once in 3 years. An older person has chances of having 3 infections in a year. So every time he's going to come for investigation, no. It has to be accessible, and combined with home care is half an hour visit and rest everything done at home is going to raise the quality of life of the individual.
Absolutely true. We know that that Pacific OneHealth stands for healthcare as it should be. What, according to you, in elder care as it should be mean, according to your own personal clinical experience?
Well, first of all, I must congratulate Pacific for coming up with this terminology of health as it should be. Because when we say as it should be, we are talking about the present. So, as it should be for a 45-year-old, as it should be for a 70-year-old, as it should be for a 95-year-old. It's going to be different. So one fit all is not possible. So it's a very practical and very noble way of dealing with the older person. And health as it should be for an older person, if there is one term that is fitting in everybody's age group, is self-care. So if we are able to provide knowledge and skills to the older person or to the caregiver, another element that is being added in micro hospitals is that we are going to be training the caregivers of the older person. So if the caregiver is trained how to find out if there is going to be a sugar fall, you're going to avoid so many complications. So health as it should be. He's a diabetic, be careful of the sugar falling. He's getting repeated urine infection, be careful of that. So health as it should be is empowering the older person in the parameters of self-care. And self-care includes prevention of complications, hygiene, looking after geriatric syndromes.
So, looking at the next 5 to 10 years, how do you see India's elder care ecosystem evolve, and what are the gaps which still need urgent attention?
Very right. There's a terminology, Silver Tsunami. I would like to introduce about the very great paper written by Niti Aayog. It is called the Position Paper on Reforms in Senior Care. It was published in February 2024, and Niti Aayog has done an exhaustive work to identify two big areas which answer your questions on the map, gaps and the Silver Tsunami. They have identified 4 domains which need to be addressed if you want to give quality elder care. And the 4 domains are health domain, the social domain, the economic domain, and the digital domain. So all our planning is going to be on these 4 domains. When I say domains means within health there will be so many issues. In economic domain there will be many issues. Similarly in digital domain. Then the Silver Tsunami, what Niti Aayog says, what are going to be the drivers of the Silver Tsunami is first is going to be home care. The home care, because WHO has also said aging in place, Niti Aayog is saying, and it makes sense because in the year 2050, which is 25 years from now, Niti Aayog's projection is that the elderly population is going to be more than the population of children below 15. So with that number of population, there's no way that old age homes are going to be looking after. The number is going to be so huge. So the elders are going to be living in their own homes. So home care. Then comes health insurance. Health insurance of the elders, already companies have started changing their rules to include insurance up to the age of 80. Government is considering how to improve the health insurance. And then comes health technology. Wearables. In the last 1 year, the economic survey said that the sale of wearables of elders, protecting them from falls, etc., has jumped by a 40%. That is huge. And the more technology is going to come in, I was the pleasure to see a place in Ireland, in Dublin, where now you wear a sensor and you're being monitored at the micro hospital, and even if you don't wake up at a particular time, a signal comes from the micro hospital to find out why have you not woken up. So that's the type of home care which is being envisaged. So these are the gaps which are going to be filled up, and these are the 3 areas: health, technology, health insurance, and home care are going to be the drivers of the Silver Tsunami.
All right, so as we wrap up, what message would you want to give to the seniors and the families who are right now watching us and listening to us?
Well, on a philosophical note and a doctor's note. On a doctor's note, in a lighter way, beyond a certain stage, stop bothering about your diseases. If you have crossed the age of 75, please believe me, you have defeated all diseases. Start looking after geriatric syndromes. And on a social message to my elders, reinvent yourself. Remain useful. One of the biggest disappointments for an elder is not being useful to society. Again, I quote WHO in the decade of aging document. They have said healthy aging is the only way out, and they have defined healthy aging is no more diseases. They say functionality. How functional are you? To do what? To look after yourself and to be useful to society. So a social message is look after your functionality so that you are looking after yourself and remain useful to society. In case you do that, live for 100 years. And we are designing a social intervention. We are calling it the Elders for Elder program, where functionally fit elders have volunteered to look after the lesser functionally fit elders, and our job is to empower the functionally fit elders to only become a liaison between the elder and the services they need. So they are not going to be doing anything else but picking up the phone and informing Pacific Hospital, Mr. So-and-so has not done well today, please check him up. That's it.
So do you also feel that micro-hospital play an important role in taking care of the social health services of the elderlies as well?
I think that's the biggest advantage, one of the biggest advantages of the micro-hospitals will have above the tertiary care hospitals. Because there is going to be a system being evolved where the elders are going to enroll as members of the family of the micro-hospital. Today, a large number of elders have formed their own associations, the Senior Citizens Welfare Associations. There are, in Delhi, I'm aware of the fact that there are more than about 324 senior citizen associations, and we've already got in touch with a number of them. The micro-hospitals can become the hub of conducting social activities of these associations, which will go a long way in building trust in the institution, that they are there available for their social events as well. And once they become a part of the hospital setup, accessing of the services of the hospitals will be much more higher through the association representatives who are the new leaders of the elder care. When we are saying that society has a very big role in playing in elder care, it is the job of micro-hospitals to empower those leaders of the society to access the hospitals through them. So they become the persons who are referring their elder colleagues for a checkup, for any other helpful services. It is through these leaders that the micro-hospitals will be able to give a much better and acceptable home care services. The home care services will be much more useful once the leaders take responsibility. All they got to do is just inform. So I think micro-hospitals have a very big responsibility of getting the elders associations on board, and that will be looking after the social health of the elders.
Wonderful. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for such an insightful conversation, Dr. Grewal, and also reminding us that elder care is not just any healthcare. It is based on relationship, reassurance, and respect. So thank you so much.
And science.
And science, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, we hope this episode helped you rethink how care for seniors can be safer, simpler, and closer to home. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to OneHealth Conversations podcast for more thought-provoking discussions with healthcare leaders. This is Vigya signing off. Stay healthy, stay informed, and take care of those who once took care of us.